Spoiler warning. In the final scene of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 2, Under the Twin Moons, Captain Michael Burnham chooses her as the new number 1 as Captain Saru departs for new adventures. Under the Twin Moons, helmed by Doug Aarniokoski and written by Alan McElroy, tells the story of Burnham and Saru's last dance together as they travel to the deserted planet of Lyrek in the Vileen system to find the Progenitors' wealth. Along with help from Ensign Adira and a returning Tilly, Burnham and Saru overcome the planet's strong security systems to find the next clue in their search for the Progenitors' riches. As this is going on, Book and Dr. Hugh Culber try to develop a psychological profile of Moll and L'ak, which yields some unexpected details. The action-packed final day of Saru's Starfleet officer tenure was the main emphasis of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 2, Under the Twin Moons, but there were also intriguing hints regarding the past of the show's new heroes and antagonists. It will be interesting to watch whether these new dynamics will aid or impede the search for the Progenitors' technology as Discovery Season 5 progresses and the reorganized crew of the USS Discovery heads toward their next destination.
I don't know if you're running from something or to something.
Subscribe to Movie Spy for more twist videos. Raynor, Burnham's new top pick for Discovery, isn't a doctrinaire. Captain Raynor was harshly punished for his careless conduct on Kmau at the beginning of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 2, putting his future as a Starfleet officer in jeopardy. Nevertheless, Raynor contacted the USS Discovery and assisted Tilly and Adira in resolving Burnham and Saru's situation on Vileen. Burnham was pleased by this, realizing that Raynor's rough demeanor and carelessness on Kmau stemmed from his steadfast dedication to the task at hand and his overwhelming desire to keep Starfleet and the Federation safe. For this reason, Burnham asks to have Raynor sent to the USS Discovery as her number 1 in the final scene of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 2. Saru, who recognized Burnham's ability in Star Trek Discovery Season 1 even though she was a convicted mutineer, is another person who influenced Burnham's choice. Having already departed from the USS Discovery, she wishes to pay tribute to his memory by offering Kelleran Captain Raynor the same kind of second opportunity that she herself was granted. Star Trek Discovery Season 5's Burnham and Raynor interaction should be interesting to see, especially because she's made it very obvious that neither she nor Raynor want to be yes men. Even more intriguing is the fact that Burnham chose Raynor over Saru's original recommendation of Book, her former flame, to fill the position of Discovery's new first officer. Subsequent episodes could ideally go deeper into Burnham's reasons for preferring the erratic and reckless Raynor over the man she once trusted with her life. The USS Discovery's Action Saru has officially departed. Kelpian's last Starfleet assignment lived true to his nickname. In Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 2, Under the Twin Moons, there are scenes that parody the police procedural cliché of the investigator getting killed during their final shift before retiring. Fortunately, the first Kelpian in Star Trek history escapes death during the mission to Lyrek, although he suffers a few minor wounds while living up to his moniker as Action Saru. Michael thinks that Booker gave Saru the moniker, but her number 1 explains that Commander Jet Reno, the sardonic engineer from Discovery, came up with the idea for Action Saru after being impressed with how he conducted himself in the 32nd century. Because of his Kelpian powers, Saru was the best person to take down Lyrek's security measures long enough to get the next clue. In his penultimate away mission from Star Trek Discovery, Sarp uses every ability in the book to move quickly through the jungle, avoid phaser blasts, and fire needles from his neck that destroy drones. All that remains is a heartfelt parting shot between Saru and Burnham, during which he gives her gardening tips before departing for Federation headquarters to assume his new diplomatic position. Moll and Booker are related through family. Moll's father served as Book's tutor. Book was given a community service term at the conclusion of Star Trek Discovery Season 4 for his offenses against the 10C United Federation of Planets and Species. Book has been deployed to the USS Discovery to locate fellow couriers Moll and L'ak, following months of assistance in the resettlement of refugees made homeless by the DMA. Book realizes that they are a couple in love, just like Burnham and Book were at the beginning of Discovery Season 3, after analyzing the intelligence that Discovery has so far gathered. Book is unable to trick Moll and L'ak into falling into his trap, and they manage to escape Discovery once more when he persuades them to speak with him. The more unexpected revelation revealed by Moll's birthmark is that L'ak's accomplice is Vileen, the daughter of Cleveland Booker IV, Book's mentor. Book informs Culber that although he never saw the daughter of his mentor, he had seen a hollow image, implying that the father and child had split up when Moll was approximately 7 years old. In Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Booker lost both his home planet and all of his family due to the dark matter anomaly. As a result, Moll is now the closest thing he has to a sister. It remains to be seen, though, if Moll will be pursued persuaded to abandon her evil ways by these familial ties. Admiral Vance and Rayner have past relations after the burn. They witnessed action as a group. When looking into what happened on Kmau, it initially becomes evident that Captain Rayner and Admiral Charles Vance. Vance later expresses gratitude to Burnham for her encouragement after tactfully berating Rayner for failing to bolster his argument. At the conclusion of Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 2, when the Admiral discloses that the two men saw action together, the relationship between Vance and Rayner becomes more evident. In contrast to Vance, Rayner finds it difficult to acclimate to the Federation's current state of peace and cautions President Lyrek that war is always a possibility. Since Vance and Rayner have been friends for 30 years, they served together during the burn's aftermath. With the help of this 30-year relationship, Vance was able to subtly persuade Rayner to retire early rather than humiliating himself by abandoning Starfleet and the USS Antares. Burnham asked for Rayner to be her number one, and Admiral Vance was obviously moved, maybe realizing that she was the only officer who could reach his errant buddy. Tilly returns as the science advisor for Discovery. The Starfleet Academy has loaned her out. In the second part of Star Trek Discovery's Season 5 premiere, Tilly is assigned to her former ship after expressing her displeasure with the current class of Starfleet Academy cadets in Season 5, Episode 1. Tilly is the science advisor on board the USS Discovery while they search for the technology of the Progenitors. She is on loan from Starfleet Academy. It only seems fair since Tilly was the one who originally discovered the tapes of Dr. L'ak. In the second episode, Tilly joins forces with Adira, who is happy to have their friend and mentor back, to help Burnham and Saru on their journey to Vileen. Callum Keith Rennie and Mary Wiseman may have some entertaining stuff in store for them both when Tilly returns to Star Trek Discovery and engages with Captain Rayner's hologram. It's also appropriate that one of Burnham's closest friends and allies, Saru, rejoins Discovery as one of her initial supporters departs. As they grow more at ease in their new job on the Discovery, Tilly is also willing to listen to Adira's worries regarding their connection with Grey Tal. So it's difficult to argue against the fact that Tilly's return to the USS Discovery is a very good thing. The first piece of the treasure map is in Discovery. The technology of the Progenitors can be reached by all 5 parts. After obtaining a chunk of patterned stone from Lyrek, Captain Burnham and the crew began deciphering the significance of the treasure hunt in Star Trek Discovery. Examining Dr. L'ak's notebook once more, Commander Paul Stamets discovers a connection between the journal's images and the stone fragment. Stamets and Burnham create a 3-dimensional replica of the sketch and discover that the stone section fits into one of the patterned holes like a puzzle piece. This, according to Burnham, is a portion of a treasure map that will lead to the technology of the Progenitors and the origin of all humanoid life in the cosmos. When all 5 parts are put together, it will somehow direct the USS Discovery to the location where the mysteries of existence are concealed. Even though this is a fantastic breakthrough, Star Trek Discovery Season 5 is still ongoing, and Moll and L'ak are actively searching for the remaining 4 pieces. The next bit of the treasure map for Season 5 is on Trill. Adira and Gray are going to be back together soon. Burnham and Saru discovered a poem that revealed the next destination in addition to the missing piece of the treasure map. One of Lyrek's numerous sculptures blocked out the entire poem, so Moll and L'ak could only read the first few verses before becoming betazed. As Sareth continued to read, she related the poem's subsequent verses, which addressed Adira and their feelings toward Gray, a universe unto itself. This, together with the reference to water, brought back memories for Adira of her home world, the Trill. Adira and Gray will have to face their relationship as the USS Discovery travels to Trill in Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 3, Janal. However, because Moll and L'ak are already on their way to Trill in search of the next piece of the Progenitors' jigsaw, romantic reconciliations might have to wait.